Alright, so welcome to part 6 of my IRPG full game guide series. So in the last video, I covered just the start of hard mode. You were to get in that video Steel Axe +1, Magic Armor +1, most importantly Hero Gems and God of War Gems, any 4 of those, and Knight +1 gear. This is my current statistics screen. Obviously this gear is old because this is what I had when I unlocked HM, and I haven't had any reason to go over 100k since. So I'm actually in the middle of a run right now. This is for a reason I'll get to in a minute. For this video we're going to be going back to normal mode for a bit actually. So the stuff we want in this video is pretty simple. It is, well, the first thing is to reach a total of 37 weapons. Now when I say 37 weapons, Gyps don't count. If I had like 10 of S-Talk +1 and then 27 other weapons one time each, this would say 28. Because I'd have at least one of 28 different weapons. So you want at least one of 37 different weapons in total. This is the number you're going off. And then after getting those 37 weapons, you can then get the first actual thing you want to get out of this video's content, which is Stat Point Crystal. The reason why you need 37 weapons for that, I'll get to in a minute. And then after Stat Point Crystal, you just want to farm Orochi, who I mentioned in I think part 3 drops XP +3 and XP +4 gems, and you want any combination of 4 of those. So essentially, it's Stat Point Crystal, XP gems, and then you're on to part 7. So why do you need 37 weapons? Well, there are these things called bonus areas. So this image right here on the information channel of the Discord is a pretty handy guide. So there is black bonus area and white bonus area. These are the bonuses required for each. So if you're in a triple exclamation mark bonus, like this one, you have a chance on each fight to spawn this guy, the Oculus of Providence. And this is like the BBA teleport mob. So after killing him, I'm now teleported to a very dark area. So I'm not going to demonstrate how bonus areas actually work. So I'm now in here, right? I killed the mob and now I'm in here. So when I find an enemy, I'm gonna just swap to encounter or instant encounter real quick. When I find an enemy, you'll notice that you have not seen this enemy before. This is a completely different looking enemy to most in the game. That is because every enemy that you can find in a bonus area is unique to that bonus area. And this bonus is ticking down every fight, as bonuses always do, but you might have noticed the fight before I got in here was on 6 and now it's on 4. That is because this is actually the duration you're allowed to stay in here for. So after this fight, the bonus will end, and therefore after this fight I will get kicked out. So I'm gonna get kicked back out to Graveyard now, and can I get back in? No, I can't. So yeah, it's not guaranteed to spawn on every fight, but yeah. So the white bonus area is where Stat Point Crystal drops, and you can see the requirements here, 37 weapons. So we need to get 37 weapons. I'm also gonna... Okay. Yeah, average IRPG server. Okay, so to find weapons quickly. Oh, actually, something else to mention. The mechanic of getting kicked out of the mechanic of getting kicked out of bonus areas is actually something we can just cancel entirely with a glitch that I'll explain. Well, I won't actually explain in this video, but I've got another video explaining it, and I'm gonna point you to that when the time comes, but that's not important just yet. So to find weapons quickly, well, first off, you don't want to be like, okay, so I'm gonna farm all the way down, and then realize that you're farming Bowie knife even though you already have one, because one of a given weapon is all that matters in terms of getting a bonus area. So your best friend for this is the wikia weapons page. So weapons on here are listed in the same order as they are in the items list. So let's say, so I'm missing this, right? Ah, jeez. No, I don't want to search. So this, it would make sense that given Steel Axe +1 is the next item down on the list, and it's a hard mode item, I can tell you 100% certain this is Steel Axe. So it's between steel sword and steel axe +1 here, and it's between steel sword and steel axe +1 here. So if a weapon is missing on here, you just use the items around it. And there's also the item numbers, so steel axe is number 8, and it's number 8 here. So use that to like navigate your item list, and just figure which weapons would be really easy to get. 37 is really not bad. So locations are also listed for each weapon, so say I don't actually know where to farm steel axe. It says right here, level 1000 zone, this mob. And you can use this weapons list in conjunction with irpgmap, this site that really should already be your best friend, to just, I mean, you know, just click on a bunch of zones. It's faster than moving around them and seeing levels, because you can just, like, pew. If I move from here to here in game, it takes like 30 seconds. Just took me half a second. So I can see it's 1k and the mob is here. So yeah, you can use these two sites, excuse me, alongside each other to make finding the weapons really fast, and that just leaves getting them, which might sound hard, because say I have 22 weapons on my stat screen, like I said, right? So I need 15 more whole weapons to get to 37, but that's actually really not hard at all. Don't be discouraged. It might seem like it's a lot of farming, but you have a lot more luck than you did before when you were, you know, say farming Rare Gladius in 13.333. Thanks to having at least one hero gem, as long as you did all the stuff in the last video. And also you can wipe the floor with anything in early into normal mode now. Like, I haven't put a stat point into anything yet, and I'm also on my running set, which, you know, doesn't have exactly like every item I have to win fights with. And I still just one-shot Thunder Goddess. Remember when she almost killed me like 3 videos ago? Even though I had gear from like past her? Yeah. So this is really easy now that you've even like early stuff from hard mode. I'd recommend starting at least with every mob drop in NM that comes before Heaven, which honestly should take you pretty close just on its own. There are a lot of those, like this zone down here has a rare sword, which you probably don't have yet unless, you know, you knew to go there and farm it. At the end of the script Word document for this video, which you can find in the description, I'm gonna list 42 weapons that I'd recommend going for. Now, obviously that's more than 37, but the reason for that is because if 1 or 2 just won't seem to drop, then it's really nice to, you know, have a couple other options to just do something else at all, without having to, you know, just think of another actually useful thing to farm. Like, without having to, like, skip to XP gems entirely or something. And even getting 42 weapons, like, should be no problem. There are absolutely going to be 42 doable weapons. So yeah, I will tell you in the description which ones I end up going with, or not which ones I end up going with, but which ones I'd recommend to farm up to 42 instead of 37, but I will cut to having 37 weapons. Okay, actually, no I won't. Dude, I just owned this guy so hard. Oh, that's so unlucky. Anyway, now I will cut to having 37 weapons. Alright, so I now have 37 weapons, as you can see on the stat screen here, so it's time to start farming white bonus area, which from now on I'm just going to call WBA, since it's just faster to say. Not by much, because W is a pretty long letter. So, how you're farming WBA, well, first you've got to get into it, since it's a bonus area. So you do this by just active farming. So unlike the last time you were active farming when you were looking for question marks, you're looking for this exclamation mark. Just a single one. 3 exclamation marks in a bonus means it's BBA, or black bonus area, which doesn't really have anything you want. It has some weapons which are, you know, nice when you're looking for the weapon requirements for hard mode bonus areas, which take a lot more weapons. But for now, you don't really care about triple exclamation mark. You just want the one. So I did, you know, off-camera active farm out a bonus, but I am really not getting Lucifer. You'll know her when you see her. Oh, her? I don't know. 4999? I need one more level for real time? Okay, that's horrible. Okay, so, but yeah, that's what you're looking for, and you're just active farming the exact same way as you did for Recovery Necklace, except, you know, you're looking for a single exclamation mark this time instead of 3 question marks. So I'm just gonna cut this off to whenever I actually get into WBA, and then I'll start explaining that. Okay, so I find Lucifer without even using another daily bonus. The very next run I killed White Dragon Knight for a little extra BP on the way to Graveyard, and I got the bonus and got the mob. So that's that right there, that I just one-shot is what you're looking for. You don't really need to worry about your stats in terms of HP attack defense here. Just having God of War and Hero Gems makes normal mode bonus areas so easy to survive in. Like, you don't need a single stat point in anything. So, I mean, you might as well just dump it all into luck as soon as you enter. Nothing really gives any XP here, but they don't have high stats either. This does change in HM, but for now they're totally free. So, now that you're in white bonus area, well, it's white, so now you know why we call it that. There are 3 enemies. This one is called True Nembra, and he drops Aegis / Holy Armor. So he drops an armor, and nothing else. Just 1 drop. It's not that useful. This is Gaia. This is the one... wow. This is the one you want. Because this one drops Stat Point Crystal. I swear to God. Okay. So this one drops Stat Point Crystal. It is at a pretty nice drop rate, and she's a 1/3 chance of spawning. And then I get True Nembra again. So, now I'm gonna reload. So reloading is pretty much the only working glitch still in this game, and it's this. So I clicked on the results screen, and during the loading screen, when it loaded me into the next map, I closed the game before it could do that. So that was because that was the last fight of the exclamation mark bonus inside WBA. So it is essentially just a teleport cancel. If that last mob that I, was on the results screen of before I used that glitch, if he dropped something, I would have kept the drop. So don't worry about anything like that. I believe it used to not keep the drop on some really old version, but now it does. So if you have any daily bonuses once you're into here, wait until there's no bonus and then use them. Because how reloading works is, well, it's just a teleport cancel. That's all it does. But in terms of when to do it, that's very important as well. So in bonus areas, the game tries to kick you out after the last fight of that exclamation mark bonus. And by kicking you out, I mean teleport you out. But if you just reload after a fight, the game can essentially do nothing about it. It can't teleport you anywhere if you do it. This is Alice, this is the 3rd enemy. He drops a bunch of weapons. None of them are useful, but obviously you'll want them later for HM bonus areas. So the game tries to kick you out after the last fight of that bonus. It actually tries to kick you out after the last fight of any bonus. So obviously you can, with reloading, have other bonuses other than just that exclamation mark in here. But yeah, it's a bit weird. There's the drop. Its stats aren't that good. So yeah, after the last fight of that half HP bonus, I reload because I know the game's gonna try to kick me out. And you can also just not have any bonus in a bonus area, as I did before I used that daily. Okay, so I have none in here, so I'll demonstrate. If there's no bonus in the bonus area, the game will also try to kick you out after any fight. So make sure to also reload when that happens. Don't even try it. It's trying to not close the game and then let me get back in only to screw me over. So this might be really annoying if you're playing on a new enough phone that doesn't have an actual physical home button. But in our experience, there's always at least some way to kind of work around stuff like that, like, design like that. There's stuff like, I think assistive touch, stuff like that, that basically as long as you can, as long as you can get to the home screen really fast from after a touch to the screen, you should be fine. Whatever way you need to do that. I've personally never had to do anything to work around stuff like that because, yeah, the phone I played through the game on initially was an S7 Edge, and ever since then I've really only played on emulator. But yeah, so just try to find some way to get to the home screen quickly after touching your screen. You actually do have a decent amount of time, even if, like some people have said, and I'm not sure if I believe, your game gets through the loading screen really fast, or your phone gets through the loading screen really fast. You should have about a second and a half And actually, so you see how that faded a little bit into the next world? So it's already teleported me there, right? You'd think so. However, if I'm not wrong, which I'm pretty sure I'm not, I think I've tested this, well not really tested, but just had it work before. Uh, Even if it's partly faded through the loading screen into the next world, reloading still works. Why? Don't ask me, I don't know. Now, if the loading screen is done fading out, essentially, then yeah, you're too late. But you do have a bit of time, even if the loading screen, for whatever reason, takes like 0 total time. So yeah, that's how you farm WBA, and you also know what mob, you're farming a drop from, so I suppose that's it. So I'm just gonna cut to whenever I have stat point crystal. Uh, so yeah, this probably should be done this run, because now I can just use all the rest of my BP in here, and that's why reloading's so good. Make sure you know how to do that. I'm actually not gonna cut until I've said this as well. I do have a video already on this channel where I explained reloading. It's just titled like reload guide or something. I'll link it in the description of this video, in case this explanation of it isn't enough. But I think it should be. I think this is what I've just done is essentially just a faster said version of what's in that video. And if that fails, there's the glitches page on the IRPG wiki, which I'll also link in the description. But yeah, anyway. Okay, so now I have stat point crystal, or just SPC for short. SPC. SPC goes in your XP set like this, and nowhere else. It might seem like a good idea to put it in every set, because, well, maybe you gotta fight on here, and then that's levels that you don't gain 5 stat points on. But that's gonna be like a couple hundred levels. The people who've gotten super far into the game generally all agree that it's not worth making your run set worse at running, or your boss set worse at, taking out bosses, I say, with an instant gunnering in it. You'll be doing near enough all your level gaining on XP set anyway, so it's best to just have it in there. But you absolutely need it in here. This literally, without stat point crystal, if you need 500,000 stat points, you get 4 per level, right? So you'd need level 125k. With stat point crystal, you get 5 per level, so you need 100k. So being at level 100,000 on this is like being at level 125,000 without it. That is a big difference, considering, you level slower and slower as your level gets higher, unless you just fight higher and higher XP things. You'll see the difference a lot more clearly by just playing with and without it yourself. So anyway, now your XP set, I'm actually going to use this character for XP jump farming. I'll explain that in a sec. Now your XP set will look like this. Maybe you've gotten lucky and instead of like this you have an XP 3 or 4, or maybe you have multiple of those drops, which would be really nice, moving forward into this. But the important part is that it's Reco, SPC, and your best 4 XP gems. Those 4 best XP gems they don't look too great at this point in the game now. They can be a whole lot better compared to what I have. And that's the next and the last thing to do in this video. So, Orochi in NM, Orochi in general drops XP plus 3 gems and XP plus 4 gems that give 50% and 60% extra XP each, respectively. So, and an XP 4 is literally like having just 2 XP gem 2s. He has both of those drops in either mode, so you can get XP 4 in normal mode. But he actually drops them both at higher drop rates at any amount of luck in normal mode. So that's where you're going to want to farm him. Even Orochi, though, is just totally free to kill. Like, doesn't take any stat points to be ready for him in normal mode, with even just the little HM stuff we've got. So the strategy here is just to... Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to reset this run to demonstrate something properly. So the strategy for farming Orochi for XP gems is to just spam kills on him as fast as you possibly can, just down to every little detail, and also to do it with as much luck as we can possibly have without slowing down the run to get it. So that's why I'm on this character. I'm not going to reset this time, but I'm going to show something. So this character, this is the character, stats grid, right? So things farther to the right have more luck. So the fourth column, the rightmost column, all give the most luck of any character. and I'm using the top right one in particular because it has, you know, it's at the top, so it has most attack, so it's probably still the best. I did actually skip WDK. You can walk straight past him. That's something you'll want to know, because why make yourself take a guaranteed fight that you don't need to get to the end? Also, you can just run set into bosses if you want. It'll not cause you to lose the fights because you still have these. But make sure that you have at least some luck, however that happens, when you're fighting Hatred, because Hatred can also in NM drop XP plus 3s. Which, you know, if you happen to get one, you're one drop closer to being done with this. So I'm just gonna finish this run of just demonstrating how to get to Orochi fast. Well, it's not complicated, just run to him, but still. Just like, just finish this run briefly showing what you're gonna be doing. And then just skip to, you know, having any 4 of his drops. So you want 4, because, well, that's how many XP gems you can have in your XP set. You cannot have more than 4. 2-star slots can't even hold XP gem plus 0s, so yeah. The only XP gems that actually matter that you'll have are the best 4 in your inventory. Now, yeah, you could get 3 XP gem 4s and 1 XP gem 3, and then you have, you know, the best XP gem setup possible. But you don't really need to do that, and farming out a 2nd and a 3rd XP gem plus 4 could end up taking a lot more time than you'd want to at this point in the game. You will need to finish up and get the last 2 XP 4s later on. For just that little bit of extra leveling for later things. I'm going to take one fight before him here and then stat luck after that. Because I'm not sure if... I wasn't sure if I could make it to him, I could have. So yeah, don't worry about getting, you know, all of everything just yet. I'm going to boss at him anyway, even though it has the same amount of luck. So yeah, this is on not the best character I have, usage-wise, and you are fucking with me, like you're actually kidding me. Okay. 1 down, that is the hard part. Do not expect that to happen. Do not, I'm serious, don't expect this. Look at this, right? Look at this. I have to like, okay. I had, how much luck? About 180k. So, this is in NM. XP 4 drop rate with 25k luck, make sure you have as much as you can easily. 0.81%. At 300k, it scales up pretty fast at 3%, so I'm willing to guess at like 2% chance of that happening. I want to make this clear, I did not re-record for that. That just happened. That just simply happened. So anyway, I'm gonna get any 3 other drops, and then I'm gonna skip to whenever that is. So yeah, god, that's fucking insane. Alright, so I have farmed out 3 XP plus 3s to go with whatever the hell this is. Yeah, so now your XP set should look like this, or if you know, happen to get like multiple XP 4s before all 3 XP 3s, then this could be an XP 4 as well, and maybe this one if you got 3 XP 4s before 2 XP 3s, which is just kind of crazy. Yeah, that's actually it for the content of this video. I think this will probably be the shortest one yet by a very long way. So the next part will be an even shorter video, but the contents of it will take a long time to get through for how short it will be. The next part is just farming maze dragons in hard mode for light plus 1 gear, and also farming the first map of InflationRPG Heaven for some kind of just backup gear, just a couple mob farms while you're at that. But that part's optional. Either way, I'll, you know, get into more detail in it in the video about it. So yeah, that'll be a very simple episode, but now that we're getting into InflationRPG boss farms with that Maze Dragons farm, it's actually getting the items that that video says to get will probably take a lot longer than the ones in this one. Because, I mean, firstly, it's an InflationRPG, everything's just harder in InflationRPG, which will also mean you can't just boss rush your way to the bosses, and also they're farther into the run, and also the drop rates they're not awful. I mean, they're not awful. Let me just briefly show here. The Maze, hard mode. Don't, like, die on me randomly. Okay, so, red eyes, right? Let's say you have, like, I mean, this is a really low amount, this is a really high amount, but yeah, so you'll be going for light armor +1 no matter what, and then either red light sword +1, or even better, where is he? green light sword +1. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, that's pretty much it for this video. Yeah, not really much else to add. I guess I'll go to statistics screen and actually finish this run. So yeah, I still have this on my stat screen, which just looks kind of comical, but in the process of getting to Maze Dragons in EHM, I'll probably end up overwriting this. I'll probably go over 104K. But yeah, thanks for watching.